What's going on, YouTube? This is Chevy Brother checking back in with you guys. I know I've been sitting on the sidelines for a couple months now. I think my last video was, the beginning of the year, right around January. And man, was I having some problems with old F-bomb here. Um, my last video, I was sharing with you guys my ESC fire, and I had that real junky chassis in here, and my truck was basically just a hunk of crap. It fell apart, and I was getting real discouraged, having a lot of problems with it. Just couldn't get it together, still working out all the bugs and whatnot. But we went ahead and rebuilt the old truck here, and let me give you guys a tour. Yeah, still got the body on here. That's on the list to be changed, but look it. I mean, this thing, it's bad, you know. We'll go ahead and twist the truck around here and let you see it. This thing is busted. Look at that. That's broken. We got, a hole in the roof from sliding on the roof. Got a hole in the bed. But yeah, I'm not going to tell you what the new body's going to be, but I got another trick up my sleeve, y'all. Stay tuned. You'll know. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood here and take you guys on a tour of the new and improved F-bomb. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and start off with this here. This is called a ZTW Beast 80 amp 4S ESC. Here's the box for it here. I wish you guys can get a better look at that. But this one's actually a waterproof. It's ROAR approved. It has LiPo cutoff on it. It's fully programmable. But let me touch on that programmable part. They sell these at Hobbytown, USA. Sticker price looks like $49.99 that they wanted me to pay for it, but I got it for 40. It has no connectors on it, so you have to put all your motor connectors, battery connectors on there. As far as programming, I wanted to touch on that. When you get your ESC, there's a little button here called the set button. This is your on-off switch, your set button here. This button only helps you bind this thing to your remote. Do not let anybody tell you that you can use this to change the settings as far as a punch, the brake, the timing on the motor. This does no such thing. If you want to change the parameters of that with this, you need what is called the LCD program box. It's also made by the same company, ZTW. You have to go online. Now, it doesn't say that is made for the Beast, but through my research, I went online looking around. They say it's for the ZTW Gecko, but that Gecko box will actually program this too. So you could change the motor timing. It could be automatic, or you could put your own parameters in there all the way up to 30 degrees. So you could change that, your brake punch, all of that, etc. Another thing I wanted to touch on is this thing. You could switch to run it reversed or whatever. This thing from the factory standard is programmed to run in reverse. So what you're going to have to do is reprogram your actual remote and switch the throttle parameters on your remote. If you look at Our House 21's video, he shows you how to do that. That thing is so hard to find the directions on, but he found it. I don't know how he did it, but he found it and he shows you. It's relatively easy to do. If you have, to reverse your servos, your steering servo or your throttle, check out his video. It'll show you how to do it. I mean, the guy is a genius. I mean, he shows you how to do different aerodynamic tricks with these cars, everything else. I mean, the guy's a mad scientist. Big thumbs up, Our House. If you're watching, big thumbs up, guy. Anyway, we're going to go through more of F-bomb here. Getting to the front end here, I have the aluminum caster blocks here from Traxxas. 17 millimeter hub adapters, roller bearings, stock axles. These are RPM axle carriers, RPM A-arms. These are stock front shocks. These are modified. They have the hollow balls in there to limit the travel of the shock piston. Compress the crap out of these springs. These are off of a Stampede two-wheel drive. Put these guys in here to actually lower it down, because when you put these Stampede springs on here, it's going to jack the front end up like this. You still need to compress it down a piece. Still working with that because it's sitting up a little high. I still, working on the car. But getting more into the car here, we have RPM A-arms here, stock, what is this thing called? Stock bulkhead, stock top plate. This is also the RPM shock tower here. This thing is super stout. I mean, yeah, my homemade body mount's loose here. I got to fix that. But yeah, the RPM shock tower here, this thing is super stout. I mean, I don't understand how I've been running this truck and beating the tar out of it with the stock ones and just not going to get this RPM one. These things, if you go to a hobby store and buy them, they're like $8 for the front, 7 for the back. I also have one on the back. I'll show you guys that in a minute. Um, but yeah, this thing runs beautiful with these. You have no more flex. These things aren't moving back and forth. Um, my caps haven't popped off yet. The shock caps on here, these are bone stock. They're plastic, nothing special, nothing fancy, just bone stock. I had a problem with popping these caps off with the stock shock mount here. So when I went over to RPM, so far so good. I mean, I've been launching this thing off of curbs and everything just to see if I can get the shock caps to pop off, and they haven't. So I'm pretty pleased with that so far. This little funky doohickey here, this is actually my custom made body mount that I made for my body, for F-Bomb's body. This is nothing really custom. All I did was take a Stampede 2-wheel drive, rear body mount, flip the sucker around, stick it on here. Drill these 2 holes. This is the Rustler body mount base here. Took the ends off, like these. These unbolt from the Rustler one. Took them off, drilled the holes, boom, slapped it on there. That's it, that's all. The tie rods on here, these are from a Rustler VXL. They're still on there. Having a little problem because I have the stock steering bell crank in there. This thing sucks. Trying to keep the screw in there, it keeps coming out. I keep losing them. That thing's soon to be upgraded. But, I got to get some more money up and get that changed out. Now, moving on to the truck here. Battery power. This is actually the Duratrax Onyx 5000 milliamp hour, 11.1 volt, 3S, 25C burst battery. Guys, I've been pretty happy with this battery, but if you notice something, I don't know. It kind of looks like it's starting to puff or something. I really don't know. Guys, if you got any information on this, hey, hit me up, let me know. It's a little fatter than it was when I first bought it, so I don't know if it's starting to puff or is that normal. Hey guys, get back to me. If you can see this, you see how it's like swollen a little bit? I don't know what that is, but I checked my cells, everything's cool. Haven't had any problems as far as the cells. It's just concerning me that this battery puffed up a little bit, so get back to me on that. Let me know. This wire here, this goes to the ESC. Yeah, I know it looks tacky right now, but I'm still, trying to figure out how to hide this wire because this ESC is so fat. I tried to sit on the base here and it won't fit. So I just stuck this over here with some industrial grade Velcro. Boom, it's sitting on there. The same Velcro is holding this guy down too. I think it was too quick for you or something like that. He was saying your butt connectors, that has a major problem with your car. So this is actually done right. I took this thing down, let my hobby store do all the soldering because when I bought the ESC, your battery connector's not on there. So I just paid them a little, like $5. They soldered this on there. It was all good. My motor leads and all that, they soldered those on for me. So this thing was ready to run. As soon as I left the hobby store, ready to run. Okay, going on to the back of the car here. Still got the Revo 3.3 shocks. Haven't done anything to them. I haven't changed the oil in them. I haven't done squat to these since I bought them. I've had these a little over 8 months. This is the 3rd truck that I put these on. And I've beat the tar out of them, crashed, caught on fire, everything. Same oil, never rebuilt them. Only opened them up to check the oil, make sure it was full still. That was it. Closed it back up, boom. That's all. This guy back here is RPM shock tower. See how stout it is? A lot more stout than stock. Stock, you got that limp noodle kind of effect going. That thing moves back and forth, and yeah, that thing's a piece of junk. But yeah, moving on to the back of the car here. RPM A-arms in the rear. These are actually alloy axle carriers in the rear. Those are by Traxxas also. My caster links here, those are off of the Stampede I had because when I crashed this thing before, the other truck I should say, when I crashed it, these snapped like a twig. They were metal like the front. I had them on the back, but it snapped. I just didn't have the $13 to buy another set off of eBay, but that's coming soon. So I just stuck these in here just to get the car running. It runs good with these. I might just leave them in there. Also, too, RPM makes these too, so I might just go get an RPM set, slap them in here, and call it a day. Axles. The drive shafts are slash 4x4 axles. Again, these were donated to me by a subscriber who wants to remain anonymous, but thank you very much. If you're watching, you know who you are. Thanks, man. Big time. Thank you. Also, too, this transmission here, this is RPM gearbox. Internals on here are bone stock. The diff is bone stock. Isla gears, everything, bone stock. There's no hardened gears, nothing in there. Everything is bone stock Traxxas. Now, guys, I want to tell you a trick with the differential in here. If you get some bearing grease for an automobile, like the waterproof grease, pack your diff with that. The grease is waterproof. It's really thick. It's kind of like molasses almost. When you put it in your diff, it'll give you like a limited slip posi action, kind of like on a real car. If you guys race cars, you know what I'm talking about. It'll give you the posi traction action, and actually, it helps your car hook better when you do that. I've been using it. This is like my fourth car that I've used it on, and I've been real happy with the results. Um, I got roller bearings in the rear and the axles, 17 millimeter hub adapters. These tires, I have no idea what they are. These tires got this little pink stuff on here. These were on here when I got it, so I don't know what that is. I don't really care. As long as they work, hey, I'm happy. As far as the receiver, I still have my Latrex Teton receiver in here. These are well known. The antenna's tucked in the box. Haven't had no problems, no hitches, no nothing, so I put it back in there. Haven't had a problem yet. Been happy with it. It's been running pretty good. And I think that's about it for the truck. Oh yeah, I got an RPM front bumper on there. I forgot to tell you guys about that. The servo that's in here, that's the 2056 that I got with my original, very first OG truck that was brushed, that XL5. I've been running that this whole time. Now, guys, I know in my other video I said that this servo, it started hiccuping and glitching and whatnot, and I was having some issues with it. Come to find out, it was my ESC. Because when I hooked this bad boy up to this ESC, it worked perfectly fine. So I think it was just my ESC. The caps on it were probably bad or something. I don't know. But yeah, as soon as I change ESCs, this thing works pretty good. But I know eventually I'm going to have to replace it. But that's on the list. I still need more parts for this car. But yeah, we're coming together pretty good. I took it out, ran it, had a GPS on it. So far, I've hit 56 miles an hour. Again, I did that before. Pretty soon, I'm hoping to get some run videos and stuff. But right now, we're just trying to get the truck together, get all the bugs worked out, get her running good. And that's about it. So that's all for now. Rate, comment, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. And as always, keep RC and keep wrenching. Peace.